As you all are aware, India is one of the fastest growing economy in the world, which means there are developments around us. We are actually surrounded with developments. We are migrating into a city. The lifestyle is improving. The technology and the supports which we get are much better. The infrastructure development is happening. Those are all the advantages we are getting. At the same time, we are also facing few disadvantages like the environmental pollution, the lifestyle, the health and the other factors are also being compromised, and we are running out of space. Which means the commodities which we use are all designed to cope up with these conditions, and same is with the cars. We know we are more attached to some kind of cars which can be used in city. It could be a hatchback or maybe a small sedan or maybe a small SUV. So maybe to encourage that, government has given a subsidy on sub 4 meter cars, and most of the manufacturers are taken advantage of that segment. And there were competition from the rivals and the similar segment like the compact SUV. Honda decided to come out with the second generation Amaze to keep up with the pace with the market. The new Amaze was first displayed in the 2018 Auto Expo, and it was alongside the other bigger brothers like the Civic and CR-V. Now Honda is planning to launch the car in Indian market, and we are having the first drive of the car here in Bangalore. The all-new Amaze is much different from what we are seeing in the first generation Amaze. What we have seen in the first generation Amaze was an added-on boot for the Brio hatchback, whereas in this one it is indigenously developed with a new design, and it looked really attractive, and it is actually growing up on us. Because once first I seen the car in Auto Expo, I felt a bit awkward with the front end and the exterior design. But once I seen here, and when I seen it move, it's actually growing on me, because it looked exactly like a miniature or the smaller form of the bigger sedan Accord, because all the identity of the Honda Snow design has been carried on here. The fascia is much different. You can see a huge chrome plating over here. It's a which new identity which you have seen in the other bigger models like the CR-V, Civic and the Honda Accord, and dominated with the Honda's logo on the front. This huge portion is underlined by a small mesh grille, and the bumper treatment also got a mesh grille. This is smaller headlight treatment, which actually give me a mask feel of a samurai. When they mask up their face, we just see the eyes. So that treatment has been given over here. On the side profile, it's giving a proper sedan kind of form because of the 3-box design. There's a longer hood, the big greenhouse, and a small boot portion is there, which has been well balanced, and the straight lines give more straight and longer feel for the car. And the boot treatment is also carry on from the similar treatment which was seen in the Civic with a C kind of a tail light treatment, and look really attractive. What I really attracted me is that the car don't look like a sub 4 meter car. It look like a bigger car, and all the proportion including the 15-inch twin spoke alloy also complement for that look, and it looked really different and getting attractive day by day and minute by minute when I see the car. When Honda decided to come out with a new Amaze, they want to make a bang in the market, and they announced a very unique combination which is the first in the segment. So now I am driving the petrol variant, which is a 1.2 liter with an 80 PS of power and a manual gearbox. There's an option of CVT as well in this, but for an enthusiast I think it's more preferable to go with the manual for the punchy ride. But for the city commuting, CVT is good enough. As we have seen in the diesel, it's a flawless gearbox, it's having a very smooth power delivery, and it's not having any harshness. It's much refined than what I expected. The suspension system in the new Amaze is the McPherson strut in the front and torsion beam in the rear. But what really matters is the refinement which we are getting here in Indian road. The small potholes and small bumps are absorbed very well, so it's giving a very refined ride. So Honda has also improved the safety elements of the car. They built the car more reinforced and strongly, and they also incorporated a lot of the safety features like the ABS, airbags and ISOFIX for the child seats. As Indians are getting more demand into safety, the car is also equipped for that. The car which I'm driving right now is the diesel CVT, and it's a very unique combination in this segment. It's a first of its kind in this segment actually. And the powertrain, as you know, it's a 1.5 liter diesel engine from Honda DI-Tech. It comes out with two output actually. In manual it comes with 100 PS of power and 200 Nm of torque, whereas there's a 20% drop in the power on CVT because of some technicality. So the power output is 80 PS and 160 Nm of torque. But I have to say, when I heard about the diesel CVT, I felt it would be a sluggish, lazy car, but it is not like that. It is decently powered. The power drop is not felt badly, and as you know, the torque band in CVT is actually a very laid back band, but here I'm not feeling that laid backness or laziness, so it's a decently power packed combination. So normally in CVT, as you know, it works with two pulleys and the gear ratio is in a way that it flows on. You won't feel that jerk of changing gears. That is missing mostly, but that's one sport element which actually gives it that thrilling feel. But in this case, the car is meant to be a city commuting car, and mostly I would like to draw the attention of the early days of automatic cars when people wanted a free flow gear change. They didn't want a jerk because they were feeling the car should be free flow, they shouldn't have the gear change jerks. So that is actually accomplished here. It's more refined and comfortable feel without any jerk. And Honda has done a good acoustics also. Even though the diesel powertrain is a bit noisy, normally the CVT gear also are noisy. That noise is not coming into the cabin. It's been very well acoustic. So the NV level is also very well taken care. So with this powertrain, Honda has got an edge over the competition of having a diesel automatic. So if it's priced well, I think they can grab a bigger portion of their cake in this segment with this combination. And in this CVT, there are 3 driving modes which can be selected just by putting down the gear lever. Now it's a sport mode. It's more responsive than in the drive mode. And there's a low mode which can be used when you need more traction and you don't want the gear to change on upper gears. And if you're taking the car off the road to get into a gravel or something, it's better use the low mode. The efficiency of this CVT also dropped compared to the manual diesel. Manual is claimed to have 28 km per liter, but this one is dropped around 25. It is 24 point something. So there's a drop in fuel efficiency also with this powertrain. The tall body design of the Amaze has actually complemented the interior of the car because it has got a very roomy interior. The greenhouse is big so that we're getting a very roomy feel. It's comfortable and spacious. The other element are the seat. It's a very cushiony, plushy seat. It's having enough support, so it's good for your driving comfort as well as for the traveling comfort. But I find a little more thigh support would have been good enough on the front seat, especially for the taller guys. However, the rear seat is much better than what I expected and what it was in the previous generation. It's having a good support and the slanting position is good. Again, the thigh support lack in the rear, but it can be forgiven because of the other aspects of the rear. The NVH level in the new Amaze has improved. I just jumped over a hump, but it is not having any harshness in the interior. And the engine noise and the wind noise also has been controlled, and acoustics is much better. Even the diesel CVT, what I expected was a little more noisy, but it was much better refined than my expectation. Honda has given a lot of storage space in the car. So considering the Indian nature, they have given 1 liter bottle holder on both the door panel, a lot of cup holders on the center console. Apart from that, there is 12 volt charging and 2 USB portals available, and there is a smart space for your phone to be kept without falling down. The infotainment system is also very nice. It's having a very good interface. The touch screen where you can also use the reverse camera, and the touch is also very responsive. Moreover, you can also mate your phone with the system either by Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and you can entertain yourself with your favorites. Honda has yet not announced the price of the Amaze when I'm driving this car, but I think Honda will price it smartly. The first impression of the new Amaze was much better than what I felt it could be. The car is looking much better than what I've seen in the Expo, and the performance and the experience on the drive was much refined and impressive. And if it's priced well, it will be a good player for the Honda, and with the diesel CVT they have an edge on the rivals to grab a bigger portion of the cake